Hi everyone, Amber Canoy here for Everyday Kentucky Visiting Solutions Functional Medicine once again with Mandi Sneed. We're talking about sleep disturbances, insomnia, and a lot of people in general struggle with this, but women seem to really struggle as we enter the wonderful changes of life.
Yes, and it's very, very common, but it's often misunderstood as a hormone-related issue. But can be not only sleep disturbances and insomnia, but a lot of women can find they can maybe go to sleep, they're really exhausted, but they simply can't stay asleep.
Just preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir.
So understanding that this is very predictable, let women hear that, hey, you're not crazy. This is right on schedule. And there are things that you can do about it, both hormonal and non-hormonal. Now, understanding the upstream cause of this insomnia helps women to understand that they are right on schedule, that nothing mysterious is really happening to them. Progesterone is a hormone that we start to lose significantly in the 40s because we're not consistently ovulating anymore. Progesterone only comes from an ovary that ovulates, whereas estrogen tends to decline within a decade later. We think of menopause as like a fifth decade problem, although it can happen much earlier, and insomnia can start to affect women as early as their late 30s.
I'm going to ask you something here. What about these people who, and I'm one of them, who like always consistently end up waking up during a certain period of night, like that 2 to 3 o'clock window? Is that related back to the hormones?
It's absolutely related to the hormones, and people need to know that it's not necessarily because of stress, because they're staring at the ceiling and their mind is racing, that this is actually hormonally driven. Specifically progesterone. If you remember when you were pregnant and you had super high progesterone levels and you just couldn't stay awake all the time, well, that was the result of progesterone stimulating in the brain what's called GABA receptors in the brain. And so we have a measure of that on a monthly basis as menstruating women, but even after we're still menstruating and not yet in menopause, that progesterone decline begins as early as 10 years before that. So this lack of progesterone is very much related to insomnia and inability to stay asleep.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of women out there who can relate to what we're talking about. If they have further questions, should they call you? I mean,
we would love to talk to them about all the benefits of progesterone and hormone, even what their real risks are in light of the controversy surrounding hormone replacement therapy. But every woman deserves to have this conversation with a provider that's informed about the real risk in the science, in the numbers.
they deserve some good sleep.
Yes, we do.